Hello. I think I'm live now. Yep. How are things going, everybody? So, I didn't do a go live on Friday. I know. Because, well, time out with the girls, taking my own advice, which is always good, and to take time and reconnect with a lot of people. Um, what else? Not much else going on. Did come across this interesting question about, embracing your kinks even if it originates from like a negative experience, issue or abuse, and whether if it's healthy or considered healthy, because the person was advertising for a dominant and they've had not so good luck, previously, mainly because it's a male sub. And there's at least you recognize that it's not that easy for a male sub to have to advertise for a female dom, and a lot of those relationships can be a bit sort of fraught. So he got angry with one female dom who approached him and said, look, I think you need some professional help and counselling and stuff like that before you enter in alter this sort of DS arrangement. He was angry at the time, but then he eventually went and saw somebody, and they now have a new partner, and they're approaching more into getting into the kinks that they were into before, but with more of an open eye, which is good. So the question is, should we embrace our kinks even though they come from, childhood abuse or just abuse to me, negative experiences or whatever in general? I would say don't leap in and embrace it completely. I would say definitely if you need to have professional help to help you work through anything that might come up, definitely full disclosure to your play partners and, take it easy, go it slow and see how it goes. And I put that it is good for both because it's not just the submissives who can have negative experiences with regards to play or things in their life, but the D types or your tops or your other play partners can have triggering, like negatively triggered events. Being able to turn those into a positive event or acknowledging that this is a negative that you need in your life, but it's coming from a place of love and concern, not from, selfishness, is definitely a thing. You've got to ask yourself quite a few harsh questions or quite a few intrusive questions of yourself into, why am I doing this? What's prompted this kink? Do I still need this in my life? And to what extent do I need it? Do I have the support necessary to be able to process what I am doing or what's happening, or if anything happens to me to cause further trauma, do I have the processes and fallbacks in place for that, or the support network? Um, having make one person say like the dominant the be all end all for everything is probably not a good thing, but having friends that are vanilla or kink aware to talk to that are very grounding that will call you on your shit would be very good and very helpful if you want to continue um, with progressing along with things that might negatively trigger you but can also be cathartic. Definitely try and get a higher level of emotional intelligence in there, and definitely disclosure to your partners, but also they've got to disclose to you about why they would like to help you or indulge in this. Sometimes it's just people just like doing things, and that's fine. The decision ultimately is up to you whether to continue or not, and whether it is still healthy for you and it's doing what, allowing you to grow. If it's not, you and stagnation is one of those things, but if it's regressing you and causing you further trauma, then I would probably take a step back and rely on a support network and other people, or talk to somebody and get counseling or something like that. Something where you have a third party that's not really involved to sort of have a look at it, or even a friend that you know and trust their opinion on, who will maybe not hit you over the head with a brick, although that you might need that sometimes, but will actually say, no, no, this is what's going on. I mean, there's been quite a few things where I've like, well, I'm not quite so sure about this. This could be triggering or not. Just give me some time. I need to process this, and go it slow, or you go, you know what, I'm sick of this particular aspect having control in a negative way. I want to see or push the boundaries of that to go beyond and see what happens there. You might just do it one off, a particular play style or whatever, because that's what you need to break through a particular barrier to be able to deal with that. But for others, it might be a thing where it is so integrated into their lives that they will need it every now and again, or maybe it's something that you can or should avoid completely. It entirely depends on whether it's doing you good, not just the short term as a temporary relief from a situation, but in the long term for you, for your life in the future, just holistically for you and your relationships as a human being. So, a bit deep, I think, for a Monday, especially after the weekend I had. Went away to Mullaney, tasted wine and cheese. Very interesting, a lot of fun. Yes, yeah, you do need to give it some time, and there's some people that try to debrief almost immediately, which is fine, but I still encourage, and I do, and I have for years and years, journaling, writing your thoughts down about stuff, um, be able to process that, and then sometimes you can look back on what you wrote. I generally tell people not to, when they're journaling, to look back on what they wrote and mull over it a lot. Generally, it's like you write it down, leave it there, move on, and your brain will continue to process that in the back of the head, and then you can, like, if you need to, talk to somebody about it. Talk to your dom, talk to your friends, talk to a counselor if you need one, and just I gotta figure out how to silence my notifications. But yeah, just take your time with it. Don't rush. The last thing you want to do is increase the trauma of something that you want to be at peace with, that you want to grow from, that you want to develop, or free yourself from. Okay? Anyway, catch you guys later. Have a lovely week. See ya.